Most retail traders spend 8 hours a day and end the year flat. I spend 30 minutes a night and have publicly published every trade I have taken in the last year to prove that it works. Five mechanics make this whole thing matter. The fifth one is the laziest and makes the other four matter. Here's the problem: you have a job and you earn well. The difference is that you try trading around that job or that necessary activity you try to do. You try trading around the job. You try ODTE options. You try day trading the NQ. I was no different. I tried trading in between work. And I blew 5K in one afternoon to prove that it really doesn't work. I had just essentially picked a system which is just incompatible with my life. All this changed after I was mentored by ex-Goldman Sachs and ex-Bank of America traders Anton Krill and Raj Malhotra at the Institute of Trading and Portfolio Management. Guys who've actually been on the desk and guys who actually know how things work. These guys taught me and mentored me on how things are actually done and how do professional traders on Wall Street actually trade. They take positions over weeks and size by rules. They just let the numbers play out and they let the math do the work for them. They do not look at the micro NQ tick on the 1 minute chart and hope that it reaches back to their VWAP level where they take a long position. The first thing, horizon. Professional traders trade on a 20 to 60 day time horizon because that is when you can actually capture volatility and swings in single stock names. You're not going to get a lot of volatility in just 1 week unless you're actually trading a catalyst or like an earnings event. You need 20 to 60 days so that you let the stock ride and you catch those huge swings. At that time horizon, the trade actually has time to breathe. You don't have to be at your screen all day staring at the 5 minute chart. The horizon doesn't really reduce your edge, it just reduces your effort and the amount of money you make. Second point is routine. Professional traders have a routine. They just look at the macro picture every 30 minutes every other night just to get a broad picture of what's going on and so that they can risk manage their positions. That's it. Imagine you tuck your kids into sleep, or you've just done your last assignment, or you've just stopped hanging out with your friends. You just go back to your room, fire up the laptop. You know exactly the things to look at after you've actually gone through the link in the description where I talk about every single indicator the professional traders look at, which has correctly predicted every single market crash since 1955. Macro scan, 10 minutes. Book review, 10 minutes. Structuring, 5 minutes. Putting the trade on, the next 5. The problem is that if you can't do this in 30 minutes, it's not that you lack time. It's just that you don't know what to look at. Third, the most important, structuring. You want to structure trades in such a way where if the stock moves 5 to 10%, you don't make 5 10%. You make 50 60%. Why? Because you use options. That is how a professional trader would look at these things, and he would structure trades in such a way so that he captures maximum upside if the stock moves in his favor. Structuring trades is absolutely essential to what professional traders actually do. Number four, risk. You always want to be considering risk you are taking as a function of your portfolio size. You shouldn't be taking more than 3 to 5% of risk of your entire portfolio on one position. Professional traders will never actually totally blow up because they size their trades perfectly, and even a bad losing trade doesn't really matter to them too much because they've actually sized it correctly and are in such a position where even if they lose 100% on that trade, which won't happen because they close it early, even if they lose that money, it's essentially inconsequential. It's just another line in the spreadsheet. Every blow up I've seen happens because someone invalidated their risk metric, their own risk metric. Not just me, every single person who has blown up. Same thing with Lehman Brothers, same thing with every other professional traders who's gone belly up in the 2008 crisis. The fifth point, publish. You want to write down what trade you've taken and why. Yes, it sounds boring, but you're going to convince the most important person, yourself that you actually know what you're doing and you actually know that you're learning from your mistakes and you can look back and see the mistakes you made. Once you're publishing, you can't lie to yourself about the horizon or the structure or the timing of the trade. Once you install system number 5, the other 4 essentially take care of themselves. That's why it's the laziest. The market doesn't reward effort, the market rewards correct decisions made consistently. The laziest portfolio is the one that compounds because that's the one which survived when you got the macro wrong. The week you were sick, the week your kid was sick, it doesn't matter. The positions are 20 to 60 days, anyways. All you gotta do is stay up 30 minutes a night, look at those macro indicators, which are in the link in the description. 30 minutes a night, you'll know exactly which regime we are in and what kind of risks you should really be taking in the markets. If you want to know exactly how to bridge this gap from the macro to micro, where you are completely aware of every decision you are making when it comes to trading and know exactly when and why things are happening, keep watching the videos I post on this channel.